Hey everybody, Gordon here from Images of Eden with another Q&A session. This week's question comes from Mary Waja. Mary, awesome to hear from you as always. Mary writes, what is your musical background? When did you start playing and what kind of training did you have? Did you have any formal training? Yeah, it's funny. I remember when I was 5 years old, my older cousin Barbara gave me my first record, Kiss Alive One, and I wore that thing out. That was when it all started, the epiphany. And that's what I wanted to do. I became an immediate Kiss fan. I think I was every member of Kiss every consecutive years for Halloween in elementary school. So that's what started it. And always knew from then that I wanted to be a musician. At the time, I thought a singer, but fast forward to age 13, I just wanted to be a guitar player. I didn't want to sing. I wanted nothing to do with vocals. Actually, I literally just wanted to learn how to play guitar and just turn it up and just jam. I didn't care at the time about being in a band. I just wanted to rock and just make noise. Very quickly, I that changed after I started taking lessons. I said, okay, this is something I really want to pursue. So took lessons from an awesome guitar player named Billy Monroe. And I'm going to hopefully he's still out there. I'm going to tag him on this, man. I'd love to hear from him. And it took lessons. Amazing guitar instructor, and really kind of set me on my way. I was 13. I think I took lessons until I was about 16. And the cool thing about Billy was he showed me theory, but also technique. And he didn't bombard me with theory. He taught me enough that I knew the rules, but not too much so that I would be afraid to break them or be, kind of be confined. There's a friend of mine who's a phenomenal theory guitar player. I don't want to say his name just because he's probably going to, moan, but he's so good, but his writing is so boxed in because his theory is just like, he sets himself these rules and he will not deviate from them. And I'm glad I didn't go that far into theory because that's not where I wanted to be. I learned enough so that I know kind of what goes together and what needs to go together, but then I kind of throw it out the window and just sort of feel my way through it. And as long as it sounds good, I go with it. But so thank you, Billy Monroe, for walking that line. And around, it's funny because after I learned guitar, for some reason, I was just kind of compelled to learn the other instruments. So I picked up a bass one day. I said, okay, these are the 4 low strings, an octave lower of what I'm used to. So I just kind of taught myself that. And I always had a fascination with drums and sort of the working knowledge and the kind of each limb being independent from each other. I remember sitting in geometry class in 10th grade and just playing Helpless by Metallica, just on my desk. And that got annoying to everybody quickly. But it was great because I could use school time to enhance my skills. Win-win, right? And so my high school band, the drummer, Lauren Duffy, when we were jamming, I got behind his drums a couple of times, and I just started to feel my way through it. And I sat behind his kit long enough to kind of gain enough working knowledge that, if I had to do it, I could. Obviously, no. But so it was during that time, I guitar, bass, drums. And now the whole time we were in our high school band, we kept auditioning singers and we could never find one. And, or just nothing that we wanted. And, I didn't really want anything to do with vocals. So we just stayed as an instrumental for a little while. And it was until I heard Awaken the Guardian by Fate's Warning and I heard John Arch's voice, and that was a game changer. I thought I wanted to go this way in music. After I heard Awaken the Guardian, nope, that's where I'm going. And finally got to meet the man last year on tour. It was amazing. So anyway, that's when I said, well, you know what? I think I want to try to sing. I sounded like a buzzsaw, cutting against the blackboard. It was brutal at first, and it was really bad. But I kind of felt like I might have had something. So I said, well, let me just stick with this, see where it takes me. And I did. We did a demo of our high school band, Burning Ambition. It was 1990. It was a 5-song demo, and I was decent enough to get through that demo, but I said, you know what? I get winded fast, and I strained pretty much all the time. I mean, that demo was basically me with a red face trying to get each line out. Go back, and there wasn't any compression or any kind of effects to make it sound really good. So it was a mess. I know I'm rambling. Sorry about that, but I'll get to the point. So I said, I need to take some vocal lessons. So in college, I sought out a vocal teacher, awesome opera coach, Crystal Fox. She really kind of set me on a good path. And so I ran with that. I only took lessons for a semester and then just kind of took the tools that she gave me and just ran for many years. And everything went great until 2011, where I got laryngitis and lost my voice. I could barely even speak. I sounded like Barry White when I was even speaking for a month. Really nasty illness. And after I healed, I couldn't sing. Voice just wouldn't work. I would try to do what I did. It's like, and nothing would come out, or it would just be complete straining. And, I didn't know what to do. So I figured, well, I've got this. I've been sick before. I can handle this. No, 2.5 years I struggled from January 2011 to mid 2013. Any demo recordings or any kind of recordings or anything that I did during that time, it was seriously lifting with my back, and I struggled to get through it. So I finally bit the bullet and said, I can't do this on my own. Sought out a vocal coach and found the man, Jamie Vendera. Jamie Vendera is actually a student of Jim Gillette's from Nitro. So he passed a lot of Jim's techniques to me, and talk about a wild man. Not only did I gain my voice back, I took my full voice, and he gave me the tools to shoot my full voice up into that dog squealer note, which you can hear. Good example is the end of the squeal, count to zero, or the middle scream in our version of Fight the Good Fight. That's all full voice scream. I don't use any falsetto. Never would have done that without Jamie Vendera. He really, really put me on a good path and gave me all the tools. So love you, Jamie. Thank you so much, brother. And even right now, I'm still not really where I want to be. I mean, I kind of know what my capabilities are, and I know I've got more here. And that's another story I'll tell you later. But yeah, so it took many, many years. Learned all the instruments. Oh, I forgot to tell you, it was right around 98 where I was doing an official demo. It was a pre-Images of Eden demo, and I needed to put some keyboards in. So I just kind of taught myself to play keys. And this was all good stuff because it came in handy when we did the first Images album, Chapter 1. Steve Kilgallen laid down the drums. I did all the other instruments. With the exception of a guitar solo or two, a friend of mine jumped in and did. So that's one thing I'll tell anyone out there. If you're a musician, learn all of the instruments, because there are going to be times where you're going to need to fill in on instruments. There have been 22 members of this band over the years, and we've had, and you know how that goes. You all know. Somebody drops out, and we find ourselves missing a member in the middle of tracking an album. No problem. I can play that instrument. So I jumped in, played that instrument for the album, kept it seamless. We kept going. Learn all the instruments, or at least learn several instruments. It's funny because I never wanted to be a vocalist. I just wanted to be a guitarist. But kind of branching out of necessity, I realized what I really wanted to do. And I'm glad I did it this way, because I only sing live, but I write on guitar, and I do track the rhythm guitar on the Images albums. So, Mary, thank you for that question. I know that was an extremely long-winded answer, and I probably went off on many tangents, but that's just, anybody who knows me, it's what's happening. Grab a beverage and put your feet up. Anyway, love you guys. Promo at Images of Eden. If you have a question, could be for any of us. As a matter of fact, shoot a question for Steve, for Carlos, for Eric, for Dean. Love to get one of these guys on camera. And make sure you like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, ring the bell. Love you guys. Talk to you later.